right, we are live here at about 6 o'clock on Monday evening. Good evening, everybody. We're gonna have a really cool topic today. So what we do is we compile all kinds of real estate related data, and so we have access to all the properties that's for sale in Texas in all the major markets. And so with MLS Deal Finder, we can find and track where all the deals are. We're going to look at those infographics today. The other one is that we also do a lot of data mining on motivated sellers. And so we have 10 different types of motivated sellers that we data mine. And currently, we want to start showing you the infographics of pre-foreclosure filings. So pre-foreclosure filings is, in my opinion, one of the key indications of what's happening off market, because it's there are many different types of motivated sellers. And the folks that are facing foreclosure are the ones that are the most desperate, right? So if you're out there, you're looking for your first group of deals, the pre-foreclosure list is a fantastic, and it's a very powerful tool because these, if you're going to sell a hamburger, you want to sell it to someone who's hungry, right? So the folks that are needing a solution to get out of their issue are the pre-foreclosure list, because they're facing foreclosure in the first Tuesday of the upcoming month. So what we're doing is we're compiling all this data, and it's going to show us where these motivators are. Now, of course, if the house end up getting foreclosed, it will show up on the MLS because it gets owned by a bank, and then it gets listed by an REO agent. And so, so through MLS Deal Finder, we're going to see where those houses show up if they do get foreclosed. Cool. So it's going to be a really cool set of analytics. It's really going to tell us and show us where the market is going and where all the deals are coming from. So let me start sharing my screen. Okay. So today we want to focus a little bit more on the Austin and San Antonio area. Okay, if we have more time, we'll hit up the other metropolitan area. But we are trying to kind of because it's a pretty long update, and so if we break it up, we can achieve it in a kind of timely manner instead of spending all day talking about the market update. So we're going to focus on the Austin and San Antonio area. For those of you who are in the DFW area, you can sign up through the link to get a instant notification of these market updates whenever they get released. And also, if you're in the Houston area and you don't want to wait, you can also download it there. If you want to kind of see and hear how we decipher the data and how we decipher the information, we're going to be talking about this in the upcoming real estate talks. Okay, so Austin and San Antonio area, we are going to talk about this for today. So this is a data that is supplied by the Texas A&M Real Estate Center. A lot of more prominent folks, educators that are in the real estate industry, they also use these slides. And it's basically trying to tell us, basing from the history and from now, how is the market moving? And so if you're looking at the new listings, there's a huge drop in the Austin area. Okay, so we're looking at Austin right now in terms of number of new listings. Okay, new listings are the houses that are hitting the market in these months. So from between June and July, it has decreased quite a lot. Whereas from the active standpoint, right, what is currently for sale, they may be sitting on the market for several months, right? So that's why the active listing, the number is bigger, and it's not as there's actually an increase in those active listings. So these houses, right, if there's an increase, it means the houses are not selling. It's not selling. There's a little bit decrease in that they are not selling. But also, if you see that the new listings, right, the supply of these inventory is slowing down, but the overall total is still going up a little bit. What that means is that the houses that have been existing on the market, they haven't been selling as quickly. These are the median home prices. So in terms of price per square footage, there's a slight drop. Overall, from 2017, there's still an increase of 3%. Everything else it's not that remarkable. So we're gonna be continually looking at these data and these charts and get a much better idea of what are we seeing. Are we gonna continue to see the number of listings keep increasing? Where it's looking like at least back in June and July, the houses have not been selling, and that has been what we have been observing on the market. So these are the discounted properties we found in the Austin area. So this data is based on the properties that are currently listed on the market, right? So we have over 8,000 properties that are on the market, right? We're not talking about off market yet, just on the market. And what it does, the system is looking at every single property and deciding, which one could be a good deal. And so every circle here is larger than 10% in discount. Okay, the small circle, it means, it's not that good of a deal. The bigger the circle, the bigger the discount percentage. So those deals are bigger. So what we want to kind of look from here is kind of spotting a pattern of, where there's a cluster of properties, right? So we can drill in and look at and find kind of where the clusters of properties are showing up at in this Austin area, and also where there's no deals, right? If there's no deals, then I don't need to be looking there. Now, the Austin area is actually very interesting because you can see in the Bell County, in Killeen area, we are not finding a lot of deals on the market. But we're going to see in a few slides that there are actually a lot of pre-foreclosures happening in the Bell County. So based on that, one can draw the conclusion that a lot of actions are happening in the off market, but they are not showing up on the MLS. So a lot of these pre-foreclosures probably got stopped before it hits the market. So a lot of actions are happening off market. So these are the counts in what we observed back in August. So all this data is the length of 1 month. So we saw these many deals in the last month, in the month of August. And here we are seeing that most of the deals are happening in Travis and Bell. Like I said, we're going to see a completely different chart off market. It's a very fascinating thing to see. Opportunities. So if we add up all the properties and look at how much those go for, and subtracting that from the estimated price, right? Then we're looking at about over $15 million of potential profit in those deals that we found on market. This is a cool one. This one, we're looking at the historical trend of the discounted deals. And so, here you're seeing July, I'm guessing here, July, February, March, April, May, and so on and so forth. And then the number that you see in each bar is the number of deals for each county. So, for example, if you focus on the red, in January, there are 105 deals in Travis County, which is where Austin is at, the city of Austin. So you can see that it dips down a little bit, and it goes all the way up to 229 in May, and then it dips back down again. Right, and then you're going to see the same kind of dip, not necessarily the behavior itself, but you can kind of see how Williamson County behaves and how Bell behaves, which is rather minuscule. Like I said, most of the action is happening off market. Cool. So this is a general overview of the Austin area. Okay, so the darker the color, the more pre-foreclosure there are, filings there are. As you can see, the darker one is around, up north where Bell County, where Killeen is. Okay, so this is a breakdown for each county. 82 in Bell County, 86 in Travis, followed by Williamson with 69. So like I said, a lot of actions happening in Bell County. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the tabulation of pre-foreclosure filings in the Austin area. So here we have January, February, and then it peaks all the way in June at 309, and then it comes back up. So this kind of tells us an indication of how many properties are hitting the pre-foreclosure court, the pre-foreclosure list every month. So it kind of gives us an idea of the trend. This one is a very important one for those of you who like to focus on the high potential zip codes. So this gives us the ranking of the top 10 zip codes that have seen the most foreclosure filings. Okay, and all this data is starting from January of this year. So 76549, there has been, it's mid-September now, right? So we're talking about 9.5 months. There are 172 pre-foreclosure filings in that zip code. So that zip code has a lot of pre-foreclosures. And another key one is 76542. Well, a lot of actionable data here, guys. A lot of actionable data. Now here we're looking at Travis County. Okay, so we're doing a zoom in of the deals, and we're seeing where the focus is. They're kind of sparsely placed. This is the data for the, so now we're looking at each county now, right? So we're going to look at Travis first. We're looking at the asking price range in terms of the MOS deals. Okay, so most of the asking price is over $500,000, right? This is Travis County. This is Austin. And then on the right, you see a chart of the estimated price, right? So what the after repair value would be. Now we're looking at the discounts. So 37 of the deals have more than $100,000 of discount. And then, obviously on the right with the discount percentage, you're gonna always see more deals that are not as good of a deal, and there are fewer and fewer deals that are really good deals, right? Those are the ones that everyone's fighting for. This is a ranking of the top cities. So the top cities is Austin, I think is Pflugerville, and Lakeway. Right, most of the deals are in Austin City. This is the top zip codes, and these are the numbers from the past month. So 78738 is the big hitter of deals that are on the MLS, right? So we're always breaking things down and looking at it from an MLS deals, and then we switch gear and look at the pre-foreclosure. In terms of school districts, most of the deals are in Austin ISD. And now let's look at the pre-foreclosures in Travis County. So the darkest one is the zip code that has the most pre-foreclosure filings. Okay, so 48 of those are in the city of Austin. And then in terms of zip codes, it's divvy up 777. These are the pre-foreclosures again. And then in terms of equity, so to calculate equity, we try to come up with an estimation of what the unpaid balance would be, and comparing that to the tax assessed value. So it's going to give us an idea of which house are sitting on more equity, and now this is a breakdown of each of them. So we're seeing quite a few of them in the 40 to 60% range, and some more. The ones that are less than 20%, maybe they're even sitting on negative equity, right? If the assessed value has dropped since they bought it. So most of the deals are here on the right. In terms of the pure number of dollars in equity, right? Again, these are estimated equities. Most of them are over $100,000 in equity, which is fantastic. These are the deals we want to focus on. Bell County, discounted, not that exciting. Then we have, so I think I'm going to skip the MLS because the number is so small in these areas. Let's focus on the pre-foreclosure, dive into that a little bit. So we have the city, right? So Killeen has the most filings. These are the top zip codes. So 76549 and 76542. Those are the ones that we see the most foreclosures. For those of you who remember, and again, if you download this report, you're gonna see all the slides. These are the two big zip codes overall in this area, in the whole Austin metropolitan area. So those two are the big hot areas if you want to focus your marketing effort, right, for pre-foreclosures. Then here we have equity percentage. Equity percentage is not as high, but a lot more filings is what it looks like. It's all about your exit strategy and getting the right exit strategy. And then in terms of pure equity amount, majority of them are less than 25,000. Right? For those of you who are familiar with the area, I think you know that kind of the price point is probably not as high, and most of them are probably much newer. Okay, Williamson. So again, from a MLS standpoint, it's not that interesting because most of them are less than 20% discount. We're gonna skip these. Well, these are still interesting if you are a owner finance type of guy or girl. So if you're looking at owner finance, you don't necessarily need a big discount. You need some discount and a lot of monthly rental comp based on the comps. So we also do a heat map on rental index for those of you who are interested. just click on the sign up link and sign up for the rental index heat map, and you get a regular publication of these heat maps. All right, so we're gonna go through those really quickly and look at the pre-foreclosures because the numbers are a little bit bigger and they're a little more meaningful. So Round Rock is the city with the most pre-foreclosure filings, all right? Also kind of the biggest city in that county. These are the top zip codes. Then we have the number of deals, equity. Most of the equity percentage is in the 40 to 60%. And this is all that we have here for the Austin area. And I promised everybody a San Antonio. So let's look at the San Antonio one together. So San Antonio deals market update. We see a drop in the new listings, an increase in active. All right, kind of very similar behavior in June and July in San Antonio as in the Austin metro area. Nothing too remarkable here, not that much change. Cool, so this is Bexar County. So look at Bexar County, there's a lot more opportunities we see in San Antonio. And that's why, we're seeing a lot of investors are moving their activities from Austin down to San Antonio because there are just simply more properties and more deals for those of you who are not afraid of the drive. You can always just turn on an audiobook or listen to podcast, and the drive can be very pleasant. Right? So the most important thing is having a deal flow. You want to have a flow of deals and constantly having deals. San Antonio is still very much drivable from Austin. And those of you in San Antonio is probably going, Steve, stop talking. Don't tell them about the San Antonio market. But there are a lot of opportunities in San Antonio. Okay, last month we found 236 deals in Bexar County, which is where San Antonio is, for a total of over $11 million in estimated profit. This is the historical trend of the discounted deals we found on the MLS. Right, so we're seeing a much higher increase towards the later in the year. In terms of asking price, you can see the price point in Bexar County is much lower, right? In the San Antonio area, the majority of them is between 100 to 200,000, and the exit price is you see 100 to 200, and also you see a big one between 200 and 300,000. In terms of discount, the majority of them are in the 20 to 40K range, but you still find a lot of deals that have over $100,000 in equity. Right, those are very fantastic deals. In terms of where the deals are located, the majority are in San Antonio. Right, these are the top 3 zip codes in San Antonio. If you're local in San Antonio, these are gonna mean a lot to you. You want to memorize these. These are the deals that we find on the MLS. Top 3 school districts, north side. I'm going to start remembering these names as well. All right, so now when it comes to San Antonio pre-foreclosure deals, right, you can see that they're basically divvied up by the different zip codes, and looks like the darkest one is this one right here. Let me turn on my annotate right here, followed by these guys. 406 filings in Bexar County. Versus how many in terms of discounted deals? 236. So we're definitely seeing more in the in terms of off-market activities here as well. So we saw a peak in back in March, and then it kind of stabilized around 400. And these are the top zip codes. Looks like we got one that stands out. top zip code with the most pre-foreclosure filings, 260 to date this year to date. That's a big one. And then we have the count of zip codes. So here I have over 27. The majority of them are in the city, right? So here again, we are now in the pre-foreclosure. This is the top zip code in the last month, 78245. Wow, it's way above the rest. The majority of them don't have a lot of equity, 127, but you still have a lot of deals that are sitting in a sizable amount of equity. And then in terms of equity amount, you can find over 60 property, around 60 properties with over $100,000 equity. Right, so when it comes to deals, right, obviously there are many different types of exit strategy. And so the more exit strategies you know, it doesn't matter if it has a low amount of equity or not, you might be able to still make that deal happen. And that's all we have today for the Austin and San Antonio area real estate deals market update. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And send us emails if you have any questions. Send an email to mailback@realestateiq.co. In the upcoming real estate talk, I'm going to be spending some time talking about the DFW area and the Houston area in the upcoming real estate, in the upcoming real estate talks. So until next time, we will talk again later.